There you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Is it there we go? Okay. Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. And yeah, we don't have am I even live? Yeah. Am I even we don't have Junior. Holy, is that you, Troy? Is that you screwing up the mic, Troy? Holy
Nah, I
hell.
didn't make any noise, but go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
man, just mute, just please. It was you. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Thank you, sir. Okay, so it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. It is, or it was supposed to be, and it never will be again. I can't waste my time like this, man. I mean, fortunately, somebody stepped in, and I totally appreciate that. By the name of Henry Jones, the last minute stepped in last minute. I totally appreciate that, and we will get to Henry, but it's the second time. I think it's the second time we've gone for Junior Jones, and for one reason or another, it's the second time he hasn't materialized. Well, I'm gonna let Troy. Troy was handling Junior Jones, two-time world champion. He couldn't make it, but I don't know. Troy was doing the negotiations. Troy was doing the deal. I did speak to Junior. I did speak to Junior two-time. Spoke to Junior 2 times today. And but anyway, let's not mess around. Troy, come and tell the people about the latest calamity. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, everything is first of all, man, bless up yourself, man, and big up yourself and be happy. It's not a calamity, man. It's a thing that it's just a thing we live called life. The first time I had an issue on my end with the phone and I couldn't get through to anybody, and that's why Junior wasn't on the first time. This time around, I don't know what's up with the brother. He's very good at answering his phone. I've had quite a few conversations with him. Hopefully, all is good with the brother. And if I could touch base with him tomorrow, I will. So I don't know why he didn't answer the phone because it's not for me to know at this point, right? So, but this is the way God works because we didn't get Junior Jones. I was blessed enough,
Yeah.
to be introduced to a man by
Yeah,
the name of.
we're not going on to Henry just yet. We just taking care of housekeeping, right? Yeah, we're gonna introduce Henry.
Okay, well, okay, there you have it. There you have it.
We're gonna carry on with
Well,
that. Just carrying on with the housekeeping. We're carrying on with the
okay,
house.
cool,
Okay,
cool,
so
cool. Let me finish though. Well, let me finish. Let me finish and say this.
all right.
Anytime in this life you run into a wall, what you have to do is find the door. You just keep going. You don't let nothing stop you. I put in a lot of time and I speak to people, and I reach out to them because this is what my soul wants to do right now. If anything comes up, I just have to work with it. I understand there might be some disappointments and all that, but guess what? That's that thing called life. You get disappointed and then you step up and you dust yourself off and you keep going. You don't let anything stop you because you are blessed with breath and life. Amen. And let's continue. Go ahead.
OMG. OMG. Okay. So so Fuzzy is here. Raph, we're ready. We're waiting. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where are we now? Mr. Spooks is in the building. What's Fuzzy saying? Here we go. Been looking forward to this one. He ain't coming. He ain't coming. What does that mean? What does dime low mean? That's an American thing. Is it an American thing? I don't know. What is that?
I don't know what that means. I have no idea.
Okay. It ain't from England. Dime low. Somebody tell me what dime low means. JD boxing up in the building. Let me just put this in the chat so people know. Let me just put this in the chat so people know. Where is he? Where is he? Okay, so boom, boom. So Junior Jones is not answering his phone to Troy. That's the bottom line. That's the reality. I spoke to Junior Jones when I speak to him was about 8 o'clock. Yeah. It was about 8 o'clock or 5 minutes to 8 UK time.
No, he's just not answering his phone.
Sorry? Sorry?
No. You said he's not answering his phone for Troy. He's just not answering his phone at the moment.
No, I just told you I spoke to him 2 times today. I just told you I spoke to him like 8 o'clock. You called him at what, 8:30? I called him at 8. He answered. Called you at 8:30. He ain't answering the phone to you, man. That's just the reality. Don't mean you're a bad person. He just ain't answering the phone to you. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go through. That's up there. He's not answering his phone to Troy. It's unfortunate. Where's it going? Oh my gosh. No clue. Can't see it. Yeah. Don't know what it is. You boys keep talking a lot or I'm going to get frostbite. Frostbite? What is that? You boys keep talking a lot or I'm going to get I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a shame sometimes these things happen. Yeah. It's happened twice now, unfortunately. What's going on? Technical hitch? Nah, then Jones just ain't the other Jones, not this Mr. Jones. The other Mr. Jones just ain't answering to Troy. He just ain't answering to Troy, and there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
Not answering the phone, period. It ain't happening. No, he's just not answering the phone.
I'm telling you, I called him at 8. I called him at 8 UK time. That's like about what's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about
3 o'clock.
That's about 3 your time. I called him at 8 and boom, he answered no problem. Said he was busy working. You called him half an hour later, he ain't answered.
Because he's busy working. There goes your answer.
Because how is he busy working? He's busy working at 8. But
you just told me he was busy working, right?
He was busy.
You know what?
He was busy working.
Listen.
Yeah. Carry on. Yeah.
We have a show, man, and we blessed with a guest, so we can deal with that after the show.
Well, we're gonna have to deal with it now, really and truly. We're gonna have to deal with it now because
deal with what?
I've been asking you for 2 days now to send me what do you call it? What's that thing called? What's that
exactly?
What's it called? A screenshot. Exactly. A screenshot. I've been asking for 2 days to send me a screenshot with relating to what we're doing, and you still haven't sent it yet.
Yeah, but I explained to you. Well, yeah, actually, I did. But I explained to you that what I sent you was a copy and paste on the phone, word for word, what happened, and then we spoke to the gentleman. Yeah, we spoke to the gentleman, and he's booked. Yeah. So why am I sending you something that's past tense that has nothing to do with present tense?
Well, do you know why I want it? You know why I want it?
You never explained that to me, sir. Go ahead.
I never explained to you. You said, don't know. So basically, just send the screenshot that I asked you to send. That's all I'm asking you to do. You can't tell me past tense or present tense. Just please send the screenshot. If you know how to send a screenshot, all I'm asking you to do is send the screenshot of the thing I asked to send me a screenshot of. What's so difficult? What's so hard?
Mm-hmm.
What's so hard? What's stopping you from sending me the screenshot? I asked you if you know how to send a screenshot. You said, I don't know. And then you said no. And then you said you could get sorted. And they said you could get sorted. And I still haven't received the screenshot.
Actually, I said I was out, which I was, taking care of business. Okay. Then I said I went to sleep. And then I said I was on my phone. I didn't have my tablet. Then I said I'd take care of it. But then the gentleman called in and I didn't see a need for it.
Well,
That's the real reason.
All right. So, what I'm asking you again must be the 20th time. Send me the screenshot, please, that I asked you to send me.
I'll take care of it after the show.
Okay. And the reason we had to do that live is because I want people to see. I want people to see it. Just tell me, am I mad? If I ask a man to send me a screenshot, am I crazy? Am I crazy for asking a man to send me a screenshot for 2 days and I still can't get the screenshot? Am I crazy?
I don't think the screenshot's the issue, but go ahead, man. We got to show.
Screenshot's the issue. I've been waiting for something for 2 days. I've been waiting for a screenshot for 2 days. And I still can't get it.
He said he gonna send it. That y'all in the
No,
pisser
he never said
contest.
that though, Henry. Henry, he never said that because you have to listen to him very carefully. He said he
He
will
said he
take
gonna send
care of it after the show.
That's right. So
You
let's
have to
move on.
listen.
'Cause I'm
You
gonna
have to
go.
listen very carefully. He said
Okay.
he didn't say he'll send it. He said I'll take care of it after the show.
Tell him you're gonna send it, Troy. So we move on.
Okay, brother. I'm gonna send it.
There you
All
go.
is well.
There you
All right.
go. So
Are you gonna send it? Thank God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Y'all the odd
2
couple.
days.
Was this the odd
2
couple
days.
revisited? That's the odd couple revisited or something.
Huh? Say again.
I said this is the odd couple revisited. Y'all don't remember that show?
Yeah, the odd couple. I know that. I know that. It's not that I don't like Troy. It's just that I just want to ask a man to please send me the damn screenshot. Takes 2 days. And then every time it's an excuse after excuse, and even there he left wiggle room. You see, I'm very careful. I listen very careful to what people say. And the first time around, he didn't say he would send it. He'd say he'd take care of it later. That's some more crap right there. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you thought, and a normal person would think, yeah, he said I'm going to send it. But I listened carefully, and he didn't say that. But you got him to say that. So now, thank you. Hallelujah. We can move on. Free at last. Free at last.
Juneteenth.
Damn. Do you see what I have to go through to get something simpler? Simple. Yep. It should be simple, man. I'm having to ask the same thing for 2 days.
Y'all are funny.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, damn. Okay, let me get my body temperature down. Let me get my body temperature down. Let's get it hot in here. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Hot summer boys.
Damn. Let me crack a window in here. We have with us Henry Jones. Now, Henry Jones, I don't know. No disrespect to you, my friend, but I don't know if I know who you are. Troy's giving me a breakdown. You're a ring announcer. But take it. Well, you're a ring announcer over there in America. Where are you from, my friend? Where are you from? Down south in Baltimore?
I'm based out of Washington, D.C. Okay. Originally, I'm from upstate Rochester, New York. And the reason that you don't know about me is probably because you and I look alike, and Troy as well. And let me ask you this. Have you ever seen any black ring announcers of note in the history of boxing?
No.
And that's the reason why. And I've been doing it 31 straight years. Damn. I haven't been on TV for 31 times because of that. Damn. But that's about to change now. Everything is changing in the world, as you know now. Yeah. And that's going to change along with it, thank God. So you'll be seeing a whole lot more of me. I'll be coming over to the UK in 2021, and we can certainly collaborate then.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Okay, we're talking about, I'm going to get right back to you. Henry. Oh, let me just take this down so people can see your name. Let me do a little bit more magic. Oh, let me take that down as well so people can see names. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, we got some names now. Let me go through the chat. Somebody said they were freezing. I have no idea what the hell you were talking about. What's your name? GMB Catastrophe. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. You're right. Some very strange things in the chat half the time. I have no clue about what you're talking about. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying it's hard to understand what you're talking about, mate. Sounds like nonsense half of the time. I got to be honest. I can't lie to you. It sounds like pure gibberish. I could be wrong. What did you say? GMB Catastrophe. You boys keep talking a lot or I'm going to get frost. What? Oh. Okay. I don't like the sound of that. I think I catch on. I think I catch your drift. Yeah, you're a bit of a weirdo, though. I think you're a weirdo. I'm convinced you're a weirdo. So, So, because I think you're a weirdo, I could be wrong, but I'm actually going to go with my instincts. I think you're a weirdo, my friend. I think you're a weirdo, and I'm going to have to go with my instincts. Uno momento. Yeah, there's some weird people out there. There's some very weird people out there, and I think you are one of them, my friend. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think you're a weirdo. I think you're a weirdo. Where is he? Where is he? Let me find him. Let me find him. Let me find him. There we go. Treasure hunt. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if anybody else got the frostbite reference, but you know, I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay, we just going. Don't go anywhere, Henry. We're just going into the chat. Just going into the chat. You know, these guys here, we like to have a little laugh. We like to have some fun over here. You ain't got no central eating, yeah? You ain't got no central eating. I have some bounty hunter training. Oh gosh, yeah, we get a weird one every now and then. We get a weird one every now and then. Where are we? We're going through the chat. There's some funny business going on here. He said, Raph Troy playing you like a fiddle. Oh, he's saying Raph Troy's playing you like a fiddle. Okay, we'll see. We'll see when I get the screenshots. We'll see when I get the screenshots. I don't know why man's hiding screenshots from me, but it's okay. It's okay. Guys, be kind to each other. Yeah, we are kind. Listen, I don't not like Troy. It's just certain things when I ask for something and I can't get it, and a man gives me 30 different responses about why he ain't done it. That gets on one's nerves. Okay? That gets on one's nerves. You know, so that's why I'm aerated. That's why I'm aerated. Okay, but we cool. We cool. We cool. We cool. Send the screenshot and sign the contract. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Does Junior still live in Bushwick? I can find him for you. I spoke to Junior earlier and I feel like calling him right now. But anyway, listen, no disrespect to Henry Jones. We got Henry Jones. He's got a story to tell and we will get into that story. But you know, Raphie just got a Raphie just got a, we call it de-stress. Raphie just got a de-stress. So this is just my way of going through the chat and just loosening up. But respect to head discombobulated Jones for coming on and stepping in and filling the breach. We're going to talk to him, discombobulated Jones, very, very shortly. Just want to get through the chat. De-stress, deload. What's going on? Ask about the Mayweather interview. What Mayweather interview? Do you know something about Mayweather interview, Henry Jones, discombobulated Jones? Is he talking to me? Talking to you? Who's talking to? This guy. Ask about the Mayweather interview. I don't know about that.
I've met Mayweather several times and spoken to him, but I don't know what interview he's referencing.
I don't know what interview he's referencing. What about David Diamante? He's all over the place in the UK. What about him? I know what you mean. What about him? David Diamante. What about him? How does he what's going on there? How does the two compare? What's going on? What's going on? Ask Henry about the Mayweather interview. Said it again. Henry, what do you know about Mayweather's interview? What's going on?
I guess he's referencing when I spoke about Mayweather, saying that he had mentioned about racism in boxing.
Yeah.
And he came to DC and put on a fight card a couple years ago, and I approached him and I told him that I've been living what he's saying for close to 30 years.
Yeah.
And he told me he couldn't do anything about it, and I asked why, and he said that he wasn't the promoter per se. He was just the president of the company. And I said, well, stop playing, man. That's even better. And I said, besides, I'm a prolific ticket seller. And so he said, oh, if that's the case, and then he went and got his right-hand man, Leonard Ellerby, who is from DC. And I've spoken to Ellerby many times before, and he said he was going to bring me on board with TMT, but none of that ever happened. So, I had to forgive them, I had to forgive them and move on, because I'm not going to let anybody stop me from doing what I know I can do. It's just a shame that, You know, and let's just be perfectly honest about it.
Mm.
We're the only race that don't stick together. We don't support each other like we're supposed to. Errol Spence said the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what we need to do. And I think the events of the world these past few weeks is showing that,
Yeah.
you know, that we got to have each other back and hold each other accountable for things. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
you know, so I thank God that, you know, I have 2 contracts coming up once this COVID-19 lifts and we get back to boxing business, one to announce nationally and then one to announce internationally.
Hmm.
And, you know, as it turns out, I, you know, not beholden to Don King, you know, Butch Lewis, may he rest in peace, said he was going to help me, never did. Rock Newman never did.
Oh, damn.
You know, come on now. You know, these
Yeah.
are brothers in the top of the echelon of boxing who could have snapped their fingers and brought me on board and for some reason chose not to. So I'm not going to hold it against them, but the truth is the light. And I'm not going to bite my tongue for anybody because when the documentary comes out, you know, it's all facts. I'm not speculating and I'm not casting aspersions on anybody. It is what it is. You never helped me. And I've been doing it for 31 years. And now if there was somebody else that looked like me that you helped, I would have nothing to say about it. But nobody that looks like me in the history of boxing
it's
has
weird.
been announcing. Come on, that's crazy, man.
Weird. It's weird.
So you tell me what the reason is. It's not that I don't have the skill set. That's obvious. And as I said, I'm a prolific ticket seller. I sold $33,000 worth of tickets in DC when Amir Khan came over here to fight Lamont Peterson. 33,000 for De La Hoya, who said he was going to bring me on board. Bernard Hopkins said he was going to talk to De La Hoya for me to bring me on board. None of that never happened.
Damn.
Never happened. You know, so yeah. So I became bitter, but thank God now I'm better. But I'm just going to tell the truth about it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the interview he's probably referencing.
That's the interview he's referencing. Okay, I'm going to bring in Troy. Troy, come on in and get involved in the interview. Ask Henry a question kindly. Thank you. I'm doing something backstage. Okay, Troy, let's go.
We got it. Henry.
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank you again, man. I know it was a last moment thing, right? And I want to thank you for your time. And I definitely want to thank you for your patience, right? You know, tell me this, right? You said you've been doing this for 30 years, and I know you had your ups and downs, but what kept you strong enough to keep going through this, brother? Was it the love or was it something else?
Well, you know, you have to have a passion for whatever you do. And fortunately, my passion and my purpose are intertwined with boxing. And I don't do it just for me. I do it to motivate others, to let them see that their dreams could come true as well, especially our youth. My background is just retired last year as a master's degree social worker for 37 years with the DC government, working with teen fathers, returning citizens, missing and runaway youth. You know, this is ingrained in me to motivate others. So how could I face them, talk to them, facts, if I give up? So I knew one day it was going to happen. I just didn't know when, but you know, I kept my faith. And so you have to have character and a undying faith to achieve your dreams, no matter if anybody else helps you or not. You know,
yes, sir.
My mother always told me, you know, man could delay it, but they can't deny it.
Ooh, that sounds like a beautiful testimony quote, brother. That's beautiful.
That's right.
Like that.
That's right.
Very
So here we
strong.
are, 31 years later, and the dream is about to come into fruition. And so every city that I go to, we're going to have auditions for ring announcers. And I'm trying to get a reality show going called Finding My Successor, because I certainly don't have 31 more years to go. You know, so we need to have this self-sustaining. And even if the people that come out to audition and don't have the talent, I'm going to use my social work skill set to help them in some aspect of life where they might need assistance. So it's going to be a win-win situation all the way around.
Okay, yeah, because you kind of step right into my next question because I was going to ask you, do you see yourself opening up like like an academy, a school, or something that actually help those who wants to follow in your footsteps?
That's exactly right. I didn't think of it as an academy. I kind of thought of it as a 501c3 nonprofit. But yeah,
Okay.
academy could work too. Um, Certainly, we need to motivate our youth to be able to speak correctly, just
Yeah.
to interview for jobs, for job
Hmm.
readiness skills. There's a place and time for ebonics and street slang and all that. But when you go into an office asking somebody for a job, you need to speak the King's English. So certainly we're going to help our youth know when to code and decode.
Yes, sir. Now, you know what? Everything you said has been straight testimony to me, man. But I know the audience wants to hear some of those stories you have. So tell me this, man.
I'm
Because I know we've
laughing
had a couple of
already. I know where you're
conversations on.
going with it. Yeah. Let
Huh?
me let me tell you. I say I know where you're going with it. So let me tell you the most memorable,
Okay.
indelibly
Okay.
etched in my consciousness. Right. The first time I got in the ring to announce, it was in D.C. at the old convention center, 1989, and so
Yeah.
the promotional group Madness Connection had had faith in me and said, "Hey, we want you to be our ring announcer going forward." So, I practiced, gave it the due diligence, went to the weigh-in, met the promoters and trainers, the fighters, anybody, went to all the gyms, just to.
Hmm. Henry, you still there? You fell off, Henry. You might have to either you hit mute or you fell off, Henry. Henry probably hit mute, but he'll either he'll either see that he hit mute or he'll have to log back in.
Are we back?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, what's the last thing you heard me say?
Last thing you said that they saw you. I think that was the last words you said that they saw you. That's a
Okay,
lot.
well, basically, I was saying that I just tried to be a sponge and soak up everything I can about boxing so that I could be
Okay.
competent in the ring. So now, mind you, I had taken Spanish in high school 3 straight years, got straight A's, but that was just translating one word into another. I wasn't speaking the part. I
Sure.
get in the ring, and it was a fighter, Hispanic fighter, and I said, introducing Jesus Maldonado.
Yeah, you're
Knowing good
nervous.
and well that's not how you pronounce that. And the boos cascaded down like 2,000 people booing me at once. And I felt like that commercial. Remember, you just want to get away, you know.
Right.
And the
Right.
Hispanic fighter ran out the corner in the middle of the ring where I was. He said, "No, no, hey Zeus, hey Zeus." And then, and of course, I knew it was Jesus, but I was nervous. See,
Right.
and so he was walking back to his corner, and he turned around and said, "Negro." And I knew what that meant too.
Woo! Okay. Yeah. 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 We all know what that is. We all know what that means. We all know what that meant.
So, so the point being, you have to practice perfectly in order to come off as competent. So I never made that mistake again, of course. You know,
Yes, sir.
this other story, matter of fact, up near you,
In
Madison Square
Baltimore.
Garden.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Right.
I, I was Michael Buffer, my mentor. The guy says, "Let's get ready to rumble." He brought me in to announce the undercard for Riddick Bowe and Andrew Galata. All right.
Okay.
It turned into a riot, the worst
I was going
riot
to ask you about that,
in
but go ahead. Go
history.
ahead.
Oh man, I was never so scared in my life. I mean, I had my 15-year-old daughter there. She had the presence of mind to run outside, get away
Okay.
from all of that. But I was just so worried, man. And I was breaking up fights. If you go on YouTube, you'll see I'm in a white tuxedo, a white jacket at least, and I'm just, grabbing people to keep police from applying chokeholds on guys. I'm
Wow.
trying to help George Foreman. Matter of fact, Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley hid behind George Foreman because the fans were about to attack them. And George said, "Get back now. I wouldn't do that if I were you, son." Nobody challenged
I
me.
heard that. I remember that. Which fight was that at? Which fight was that at?
Madison Square Garden, Riddick Bowe and Andrew Galata. The first.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. The Big George Big George was telling some kids, saying, "No, don't do that, son.
That's right. That's
Don't
right.
do that, son."
I wouldn't do that if I was you, son. They were so thankful. They awarded George the biggest contract for a color commentator in history. Did you know that?
Wow. I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah. So between his color commentator contract and his grill, man, George was set for life.
Oh, it's set for more than one life. Set for many lives. It's set for many lives.
Many lives.
Many lives.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I got more stories. I don't know how much time you got, but I got a whole lot more.
Yeah, stories. Run the stories. Run the stories. Come on. Fire, machine on fire. Spit them out. Spit them out.
Okay. So I as I said, Michael Buffer is my mentor now, but Oscar De La Hoya was fighting up in my hometown of Rochester, New York when he came out the Olympics, and he went up there because he was looking at Charles Natural Murray's title. So he said, "I'm gonna go up there and fight in that guy's hometown, then I'm gonna challenge him." So when I read about it, I called the promoter and asked him if I could announce the fight on ESPN. He said, "Well, they're bringing in Buffer, but why don't you come up anyway?" I said, "Okay." So I prepared myself, as if I was going to be the ring announcer, because you never know. Buffer's plane could have got delayed. He could have came down with laryngitis. I was kind of hoping one of those two things would happen, but God don't bless no mess, So I got up there. I went to the weigh-in. I went to the weigh-in and got all the information. And I got there the next night, before anybody was in the arena, and I was just waiting patiently. And Buffer comes up to ringside, about an hour before the telecast. And I stood up to meet him. I'm dressed like him, tuxedo. I said, "How you doing, sir?" He said, "I'm fine. How are you?" So I would have been much better had you not taken my job this evening. He started laughing. He said, "Oh, you must be Jones." He said, "The promoter told me about you." He said, "Nothing personal, just business." I said, "I know, man. I'm just kidding." I said, "You mind if I sit with you tonight and, learn from you? I think I'm serious about trying to do this." He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Okay, all right, no problem." He said, "Yeah, you know the fighters. You went to the weigh-in yesterday, I heard." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you can tell me who's who and what's what." I said, "Bet." So sat there and I observed him, the little nuances, who he spoke to and, how he pronounced things. And if he didn't know, he would ask the fighter right in the ring. I said, okay, these are things that make things successful, those details, right? So it was the end of the night. TV was off. 2 fights left. He pointed to me, said, with the microphone, he says, "It's a shame y'all dressed up, no place to go. Why don't you go?" Handed me the microphone. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, let me hear what you got." He sat there for 2 fights, checked me out, critiqued me. At the end of the second fight, he said, "You got something going." He said, you really are serious, aren't you?" I said, "I think I am." He said, "Well, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm being led to do this," is the word he used, led. He said, "I'm gonna help you out." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah. You want to start doing my undercards?" I thought it was a trick question, but he had me on stage uh, of course, Madison Square Garden several times, Atlantic City. Matter of fact, he allowed me to open up Radio City Music Hall when Roy Jones fought there. So technically, I was the first announcer to announce out of Radio City Music Hall, And I wrote a book. He wrote the foreword for my book, and he's just been a blessing, for my career. And he asked me one night in RFK Stadium when in DC when Roy Jones fought Bernard Hopkins. He said, "I've been helping you for a few years now, Jones, and certainly don't mind it." He said, "But why won't your brothers Don King and Rock Newman help you?" And man, right there in that moment, that changed my whole way of thinking about race relations, because that let me realize it wasn't about the color. It's about character. Because he knew they could have snapped their fingers and got me on board on the level that he's on, you know, along with Jimmy Lennon, who I've worked with many times as well. You know, they were both mystified why I hadn't gotten my due to that point, you know. So again, man, I hate to, you know, beat a dead horse, as they say, but you know, it's the truth. Facts. You know?
Facts. So tell me something. Is this you? Hold on. Is this you?
What Buffer? The picture?
No, the picture. Is this you?
Which one? I see a lot of them.
This one here.
No, that's a young guy that I've been mentoring.
Is this you?
Which one? Yeah. Yep.
That's you?
That's me. And then to the far left, you see Buffer and myself.
Oh. Okay. I'll use this picture then. Okay, you carry on. I'll bring this picture up.
Yeah. Okay, so another time went up to Rochester. Bernard Hopkins was fighting up there, right?
Yeah.
And I had a brother, may he rest in peace, did time in Attica prison. If you know the story about Attica, upstate New York, one of the most ruthless prisons on the planet.
Ruthless. You got Rikers Island up there. You got Rikers Island up there as well. So I hear.
Exactly. That's sister.
I watch the gangster movies. Don't worry.
Well, do you remember this series called Oz?
No, I don't know that one. I don't watch TV.
Okay, Oz was based on Attica prison. My brother went into Attica, and he survived that uprising. They had a riot there. It was the bloodiest riot in prison history.
I've heard that.
The governor of New York at the time was Nelson Rockefeller. That's where Jay-Z get that from, Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And the prisoners took over the prison, killed some guards, and Governor Rockefeller issued the order, shoot them all, take no prisoners. Wow. And that's where that term comes from, take no prisoners.
Wow.
But my brother survived that, became the imam, you know, spiritual leader of the Muslim, came out of prison, and with the stigma attached, being an ex-con, he couldn't get work. So he went back to the street life, and that went wrong, and, you know, guy took his head off at the wheel, man.
Dang.
And, you know, that really affected me. And
what do you mean took his head off?
With a shotgun.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. And so anyway, that put me on the straight and narrow, really.
Yeah.
So I go up to Rochester. Bernard Hopkins is fighting on the undercard. He had just gotten out of Graterford prison himself. I didn't know that. But I felt a connection to him for some reason.
Yeah.
And when he knocked this guy out in the first round with one of the most devastating overhand rights I've ever seen, the guy it was timber. He hit him. The guy went out on his feet and just fell backward.
Dang.
You know. So when Bernard Hopkins came out of the ring and he was passing by me, I said, "Hey man, let me tap that right glove because I can see you're gonna be champ one day."
Yeah.
And he stopped and looked me in the eyes, and you know, Bernard Hopkins had killer eyes. And so he stopped.
Yeah.
And he let me dap the glove. He said, "Thank you." Fast forward about 5-6 years later, I'm in Philadelphia for a fight of his, and he's coming through the tunnel, and I said, "Hey, champ," and hollered out to him. And he looked for a second, then he stopped.
Yeah.
And made his whole entourage stop. And he walked over to him. He said, "Rochester." I said, "Man, you got a good memory." He said, "Nah, you told me, man, and I appreciate you saying that." You know, so you know, we've been cordial ever since. He didn't ever keep his promises to me, but that's okay. That's okay. He's still my
man. Promises. Okay, so for people who are tuning in expecting Junior Jones, we didn't get Junior Jones, but we did get discombobulated Jones.
Yes, sir.
Henry Discombobulated Jones. Where's that picture? Let me bring it up to the forefront anyway. Don't let me stop the flow. Keep on going. Oh, let me ask you a question then. So what made you get into ring announcing? Or maybe
Great
that's
question.
question. Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have been traumatized as from a kid. I was always the understudy in those school plays on stage to the main character.
Yeah.
Always a young white boy, right?
Uh-oh.
And I never got on stage. I had this photographic memory. I could recite the whole script from memory.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting behind the curtains, you know, just telling people their lines when they forgot them.
Yeah.
I never got on stage.
Uh-oh.
So I think what happened was I just had this need to fill this void. And so when I got to DC, I tried other things. I tried to be an actor, you know, that didn't work out. Matter of fact, the producer one time in a play, Othello, he said, yeah, I could see you playing Othello in about 40 years. I said, 40 years? He said, yeah, you got to go through that pain. I said, no, man, I don't have 40 years to go through no pain to play Othello. So I quit that. I tried to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And got hit with eggs on stage one night.
Damn.
True story. The yoke was on me. You get it? Yoke.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
They weren't laughing either. So yeah. So I went to the DC Boxing Commission and I said I want to be a color commentator.
Yeah.
So the deputy commissioner at the time, may rest in peace now, Mr. Gilbert Weary, said, well, we don't have any TV contracts, but obviously you know boxing and you're articulate.
Yeah.
He said, you want to be on the mic? Why don't you, try out for a ring announcer position? I said, no, I wasn't thinking about that. And then he gave me that epiphany moment, when the light bulb goes off, you can see something just for yourself. He said, well, there have never been any black ring announcers to make it. For some reason, somebody got to be the first one. Why don't you take the challenge?
Yeah.
And I did. And that's where we are now, 31 years later.
31 years later. Damn.
Straight years at that.
Straight.
There you go.
There you go.
In the future, you're going to have an academy. So, yes. Henry, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I'll jump in here while he's doing what he's doing. I know you have some great stories and all, but tell us this, man. Give us some stories that you saw in the ring that made you say, wow, and others that, damn near brought a tear to your eye. Like, okay, were you there when Simon and Simon Brown, and Maurice fought?
No, that was in Vegas.
Okay.
No, but I did almost cry about that because I knew they were such great friends. They were more than friends; they were brothers per se.
Right.
And I talked to their trainer, Jose Pepe Carrera, because he trained both of them out of the same gym in DC, and he had to recuse himself from that fight because he couldn't choose sides. So he wasn't even in either one of them corner that night. He said he couldn't do it, And I picked Brown to win. And after Brown stopped Maurice, he started crying in the ring and consoled him, grabbed him and hugged him, bear hug and consoled him, man. That was touching to me.
Right. Now
that was touching to me.
Now in the DC area, when you did any fights, or in New York where you did any fights, did you see anything that really just kind of shook you to the core? Like you ever seen anybody like a Gerald, like the Gerald, what happened to Gerald, when
McClellan?
he fought Nigel? Yes, brother. Yeah. You ever see anything like that happen?
Unfortunately, yes. And not the first story is not to that degree, and it involves Simon Brown again.
Yeah.
And of course, it was at the old Capitol Center where the Bullets used to play, and it was a Don King show. Matter of fact, Bernard Hopkins was on that too, won a title that night. It was a star-studded show. We started at 4:00 in the afternoon and then ended up getting out there until 2:00 in the morning. It was like 18 bouts. It was crazy, but they were great bouts. It was on Showtime, and the main event was Simon Brown and Vincent Petway from Baltimore. And I'm sitting next to Mike Tyson. He had just come home from doing that bid. And man, it was a vicious fight. And all of a sudden, Vincent Petway hit Simon Brown with a left hook from hell. And it sounded like a
Ah,
gunshot in that place. And Simon
yeah.
fell out on his back, unconscious, and was still punching in the air in his sleep. And Mike
Mm.
Tyson said, I've seen a lot of knockouts in my life, but I've never seen one quite like that. And man, I had to get up and move because I didn't want to laugh. He had these big
Yeah.
bodyguards put him in everything, you know. But fortunately, Simon, was in good health after that. But man,
Yes, sir.
that's one of the punches of all time, really. And Simon
Oh,
will
mm.
acknowledge it. He and I spoke about it at his DC induction ceremony about 2 years ago. He said, "Yeah, you got to give this a Petway props." He said he wish he would have caught Petway with a hook like that.
Right.
So Simon's a good guy, man, and
Yes,
he's
yes, he
a
is.
good
Yes,
character,
he is.
high
'Cause I spoke to
character
him
guy.
about it too. Yeah, man. I had a conversation about it. I told him how rough it was. Well, it was rough for him, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It was rough for him. But I was in the because he's friends with the family. But I was watching that fight with Vincent Pettyway's family because I'm friends with them. Yeah. So
Oh
you
man.
know it. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
They got on your case.
It broke my back. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So,
It
Now
broke my
the sadder story, if I may, is
yeah, yeah.
boy, may he rest in peace. Local fighter named B. Scotland. I don't know if you know that name, but he was the first fighter to fight on the USS Intrepid out of the harbor there in New York one night. And he fought a guy named George Khalid Jones. And they shouldn't have taken the bout. It was like a 20-pound weight difference. And it was on ESPN. And man, he was just hitting B. Scotland with some vicious shots. And last one, B. Scotland went into a coma right there in the ring and never woke up again. And that was
wow.
like a young brother to me. And, you know, we rallied around his wife and, tried to get her benefits. And it was a lawsuit against the New York State Boxing Commission because they weren't prepared with the EMTs.
Mm.
And
Mm.
she hired, may he rest in peace, Johnny Cochran. And they were going
Right.
after it. And Johnny Cochran died. And I think the
Damn,
lawsuit died along with him.
damn.
So we were able to get her, some, monetary benefits here on the local scene, but it certainly would have been nothing like she could have got.
Could have got it. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so I think that traumatized me to the point that sometimes I will tell a manager or give a
Mm-hmm.
look to a doctor to you might want to take a closer look at this fight, especially against a side fighter against a no hoper. You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
I call him no hoper, but I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I just mean a guy that they brought in to lose, and
Right.
he's taking a
Yeah.
fearful beating, trying to give his all, but you know what the outcome's gonna be. Come on,
Yeah.
that's why they
Yes, sir.
brought you in, you know.
So,
Yes, sir.
so Henry, just taking you back a little bit. Taking you back a little bit. Where did you get your nickname? Disco.
Good question. So
Yeah.
I'm in high school, senior year of high school. I always had a love for words. One of my sisters bought me a thesaurus because I had read the entire dictionary, you know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Because she said you need to know as many words as possible because people will use words against you if you don't know that could harm you for life. So she bought me this thesaurus. So I'm looking at a fight, and may he rest in peace, the late great loquacious one. He used to talk like this, and you tell me who it is. Never in my president ring experience have I ever seen a fighter so utterly
Howard Cosell.
discombobulated.
Howard Cosell.
Late great Howard Cosell.
Ah.
And so
Ah.
Yeah.
and so It wasn't in a dictionary, so I ran to that thesaurus and I said, "Ooh, boy, that's a powerful word. To upset the composure of, to render completely senseless." I said, "That's what he did to that fighter." So when I became a ring announcer, I knew that Henry just wasn't gonna get the sports writer and immediate attention. And I had been through a lot of things personally that could have discombobulated me, not me out. Cancer primarily, bad relationships, car accidents, drugs, all that, man. And so I started calling myself discombobulating, ing, because I want to be the one doing the positive knocking out in life. That's what I comes from.
I like that
Very
one.
good
I like
question.
that one. I
Very
like
good question.
I got
That's a
another
good
one for you.
story.
I got another one. I got another one for you. And this one is from, that one was from Buzz Lightyear, and this one is from Ebbs, African friend. I don't know who the hell is Ebbs. Ebbs, African friend. Tell me who Ebbs is. So the question is: so does Jay Larkin acknowledge you?
Jay Larkin, former president of Showtime.
I guess so. Yeah.
None of them did. None of them did. The only person that took a chance on me was the former vice president of HBO named Kerry Davis. And they had a format called HBO KO Nation. It was kind of like an ethnic format. The color commentators are black, the ring card girls, they had a DJ, feature minority fighters, black and Hispanic. But they hired the wrong person initially as the ring announcer, Ed Lover, guy that's from MTV fame, and here we go again. Facts. I'm just telling it like it is. You got to hire the right person to do the right job. You're not going to hire a dentist to work on your car or vice versa. A mechanic work on your teeth, right? You might, but it's not going to turn out right. So anyway, so they hired Ed Lover. I tried to get in contact with him because I wanted to mentor him. I wanted him to succeed. I want somebody to look like me to succeed. He never responded. He would get up in the ring and make all these, faux pas, which are social blunders, malapropism, misspeaking. Guy got knocked out one night. He said, "We'll come back with the decision of the judges." What decision, man? When he gonna wake up? What decision? Right? So one guy got a decision. He said, "We have a magnanimous decision." Magnanimous? That's a big decision, all right.
Maybe he meant Magnum. Maybe there's a Magnum backstage.
So I think there's a judge over your way, Mr. Dawkins, named Anebo Miramontes. You ever heard that name?
I don't know that guy.
Okay, well, he's big time. So he was one of the judges one night, and Ed Lover said, "The scoring from Miss Annabelle Miramontes." And that's when they had enough and fired him and hired me. Now I, was at Hammerstein Ballroom up in New York, and it was a great crowd, and everything went according to form. They loved me, but at the end of the night, they told the after party performer Eve, the rapper Eve,
yeah, I've seen the pictures. Great.
Said keep it clean, because she gets kind of raunchy at times. They said no, keep it clean. Well, she didn't keep it clean. And man, those families with their children were running out there covering the kids' ears, and they just canceled the whole format after that. Not gonna say that it was only because of her, but it certainly didn't help. Let's put it that way. But it just goes to show that my talent was finally recognized at the highest level. So I did get there. I did get there.
You did get there. So what do you want? What do you want out of your? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? And take us there in steps. How do you get there?
Well, basically, I want the rest of the boxing world to recognize my hard work, my labor for these 31 years. And that's going to happen with me touring around the nation and around the world now. The national contract is with an organization out of Detroit, Michigan called Impact Network.
Right.
And so we were supposed to have a fight card in Nashville, Tennessee, April 4th, but Nashville got decimated by a tornado, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, yeah. So the guy had called me in February for April 4th, but then, of course, the COVID-19 took over and just delayed everything anyway. So he told me that they have maybe about 50 shows scheduled for next year. And then he said a lot of them will be with De La Hoya, TMT, Barbara Aram, same people that never hired me. He said, now I can't guarantee I'll get you all of them, but we're going to present it as a package deal. You're our ring announcer. If they want to have their fight cards shown on our network, then you got to come with it. You know, and I said, no, that's exactly what I need. Somebody to stand up for me. You know, put me in the contract. Don't go asking. Because a lot of fighters, and I must say, Mark Too Sharp Johnson and William Joppy, Keith Holmes, Sean B. Mitchell, a lot of guys from this area, when they were under Don King, they asked them if he would allow me to announce. But you can't go asking. You got to go from a position of leverage and say, this is what I want. So the fighter named Mark Too Sharp Johnson was the only one that put it in his contract. And so we had a fight card at DC Armory one night back in 1998. And he put in his contract for me to be the ring announcer. And that's how I was able to get on ESPN. So going forward, you know, with the international contract is with Union. And this is the guy that I want you to talk to, Brother Dawkins, named Charles Russo. He's the president of the Boxers MMA Fighters Union. There's never been a union before. This guy has put together pro boxers and MMA fighters around the world.
Hold on.
Have we pension plans?
Have we spoken about this? Have we spoken about this via email?
Yes, we have. That's
yes, we
him.
have. Yeah. And this guy, what's his name again? I've got the email.
His name is Charles Russo. And his contact over there with you is promoted by the name of Jimmy Hawk Lloyd.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you.
I'm gonna have to check him out. Yeah, thanks for reminding.
Yeah, please do. So we'll be coming over there with you to the UK because this is an idea whose time has come to give these fighters insurance, pension plans, you know, health and life insurance, helping them with a career after this because you never know. One fight could end it all for them.
So hold on, let's take this back. Who's setting this up?
Charles Russo. He's the president of the Boxers MMA Fighters Union. Yes.
Charles, this is an American organization.
That's correct.
And Charles
with
Russo,
international unions, though, right?
International unions. So they're gonna do this thing for fighters under their promotional umbrella. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's correct.
And what's the name of the promotion?
BMMAFU, which stands for Boxers Mixed Martial Arts Fighters Union.
BMMAFU. Yeah, I remember us talking about this. I remember us talking about this. You've given me the contact details as well.
Yes, please do.
And this guy, Charles Russo, he's American in America.
Yeah, multimillionaire type guy, love for boxing.
Yeah.
You know, a little rough around the edges, but he's sincere about it, you know. And he don't take any mess from people. And, you know, he just does not like how fighters have been taken advantage of over the years. So he actually came here to DC, testified before Congress, and had legislation passed for them to enact the Ali Act. And the Ali Act says you can't be the promoter and manager because you're double dipping on these fighters.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
It's not right. It's like when Don King went into the ring with Foreman and walked out with Ali. You know, he don't care who wins for real because he's still in control. And that's not right. You know, so you're playing both sides against the middle. So he's eliminating all that and he's leveling the playing field. So I'm pleased that he's bringing me on board as well. So I just want to go around and, you know, just establish a legacy for others to follow, and especially our youth, to give them some hope. You know, it might not be as a ring announcer. Maybe they have some skill set with graphics or marketing, that social media platform. But somebody, you know, everybody could do something.
Everybody can do something, damn it.
Everybody could do something, man.
Damn it.
You know?
Okay, I actually got a question for you, brother. You just spoke about a rule. I think you said it was the Ali rule or something like that that Don King
Yeah,
was doing. Okay,
that he
so
wasn't following. Right.
okay, he wasn't following. Okay, how does Heyman do it then? How's he
That's a
getting
good
away with it?
question. Yeah, he is
Yeah,
getting away with it, isn't he? You know, but De La Hoya is
yes, he
getting
is.
away with it. Aram is getting away with it. So
Yeah,
ask the
everybody
question
seems to
about
be
them
getting away
too.
with it.
They are. They pimping
Yeah,
these fighters, and now with the COVID-19, they're saying they need to take pay cuts. Come on, man, pay cuts, and they getting cut?
hmm,
No, 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 no.
Hold
That
on.
that punishment is still real
Hold
and
on.
100%, isn't it?
Hold on. You can't
yes,
pay
it
some.
is. Yes, it
You
is.
can't pay. You can't pay somebody something that's not being generated. If there's no crowds, then surely they have to take a cut from what they
But they're
normally.
getting the money from the TV though. They get
No.
money from TV.
Where's the gate revenue going? How can they pay? Where? Because gate revenue must have been going somewhere. So if there's no gate revenue now, then surely somebody has to take a cut.
And it's the promoter that needs to take the cut. That's right. And Dana White included. No, I'm not gonna put my life on the line for your enjoyment and your entertainment, and you getting the lion's share of the money.
Mm,
No, that's not right.
mm,
No. What if I get an injury? Are you gonna help me for the rest of my life,
mm.
like they should have done Gerald McClellan?
Yeah.
No, man. I sent money to his family. I ain't even know him, but I
Mm,
appreciate his skill set and what he tried to do for us.
yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's not right. It's
Mm,
not right
mm.
at all. The promoters making all this money, man, off the fighters. They pimps, man. They're pimps.
Uh,
Mhm.
it's
Hold on.
exactly what.
What have you seen? What have you seen? What have you seen? You've seen something, Henry. You've seen something. You've seen. You've watched. You've seen. You've watched. You've seen. You've
Too
seen.
many times. I've seen fighters go broke, man. You
Mm,
know, guys that should have been stars and they incurred an injury and or they, got on substance abuse, domestic violence, or whatever, and these promoters turn their backs on them.
mm.
Where was the help then?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not right. You're
Mm.
gonna ride with a guy, you ride with him to the
Yes.
end. And then when you've used them up, then you help them up.
Hmm. Well, that
That's
would be nice. That would be nice. But when has that ever happened in the history of boxing?
It's happening now. That's what I'm telling you with this guy Charles Russo. That's
Okay.
exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
Exactly what we're doing. They're putting money in escrow account for themselves. Okay, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is changing of the
Okay.
guard, man. This the whole thing is the whole world has changed right in
Mm,
front of our eyes, and we got to change with it. It's
mhm,
not business as
Slowly, but
usual anymore. It's unusual business.
mm, mm.
slowly but surely. Now, have you ever worked with Jerry Cooney as far as getting fighters? Because I know he started Fist, right?
Right. I have not
Right.
worked with
You ever
him. I've
worked with
spoken
Cooney?
to him several times, but I have not worked with him. But he's got a great heart trying to help fallen fighters. So I must commend him.
Mhm.
Yes, I give him his props. Along with a guy named Alex Ramos.
Yeah.
Remember Alex Ramos? He was
Alex.
doing the same thing out
Yeah.
of I believe California.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Come on, Troy. Let's go, man. Let's go. Henry Jones ain't got long. Come on, Troy. Come on. Let's go. Look, he's muted his mic.
Hey! I'm here. I'm here. I was
Yes,
just on the
sir.
phone with Junior
Let's
Jones.
go.
Thank you very much. But
What did you
Henry,
say? What did you
Uh
say?
I was
oh.
on the phone with
Uh oh.
Junior.
You shouldn't have said that,
What did you
Troy.
say?
You shouldn't have said
I just
that.
thought
You
about that.
should
What did
not
you
I
say?
have
just thought
Yo,
about
said
it.
Henry,
that.
Henry
You
James,
should have
Henry
waited.
Jones don't take your calls. Henry Jones don't take your calls. I
You
mean,
should have
Henry,
waited.
Henry,
Junior Jones don't take your calls, bro. We know that by now.
Henry, Henry,
Yeah.
Henry. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not listening, right? Yeah, I'm not listening, man. That's a wise thing for you.
Yeah, you
But
got
at
to
the
eat
end
him
of
off.
the day,
You got
man,
to eat him off.
where do you? I mean, do you have any plans in the future of like helping out? I guess you do actually. Of, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me structure the question a little better. If you were to do something similar to Fist or what Cooney's doing, how would you how would you get it established? Because I know there's people out here that actually want to help the fighters, but they don't know where to
yeah.
start. So
Yeah.
how would you start something like that?
Yeah. Well, through the Boxers MMA Fighters Union, that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm kind of like the spokesperson for it. So when we go around to these different cities and countries, we're actually going to try to implement some initiatives. We're supposed to go to Accra, Ghana in December. And so just rather than put on a fight card, I told the president we need to actually help them over there with their infrastructure because, as you know, they need farming equipment, they need water irrigation. So we're going to try to get companies to donate equipment, to help them help themselves. Because you feed a man a fish, feed him for a day. You teach him fish, feed him for life. So these are the
Yes,
kind
sir.
of things I want to try to implement. Um, I'm going to reach out to Lennox Lewis and Errol Spence because they said they are master chess players, and I
Yeah.
want to get them to the
Yeah.
states. I want to get them to the states, and we want to use that as a conflict resolution initiative with our youth to let them see that their next moves need to be their best moves.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I like
things
that.
of that
Yeah.
nature, what I'm trying to implement. So any ideas would be welcome, gentlemen.
I like the chess idea.
Yeah. I
I like
wouldn't.
the chess
I
because
wouldn't
I
say
was
Hopkins is a chess
la
person as
la
well.
la la
I
la.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay.
I used to play chess in the in at school. I used to play chess at school a lot, hell of a lot.
Oh
And
well, we're gonna have you on board too then.
hey, get me on board. I want to, get me on board. Leonard says he's the chess master. I think I'm the chess master.
Oh really?
We need to resolve our differences once and for all.
Okay, that's a bet.
Yeah, we need to resolve this. We need to sort this out one way or another. You know what I'm
Yeah, we will. Man, especially when we come over to UK.
saying?
There you go.
Hey,
I'm gonna have you as the point person. You're the point person for that.
I'm the
That's
points
right.
man. I'm the points man. I'm the points
That's
man.
right.
But yeah. So absolutely. What now? I need to ask you. There seems to be. This is slightly off. This is slightly off boxing, but maybe it isn't because some boxers slip into it.
Okay.
What is it? What is it with drugs? The proliferation of drugs over there in the U.S. I don't know. It's what I seem to perceive. There's just so much drugs,
Yeah.
so much drugs issue. What the hell is going
Okay.
on? You got
Okay.
a perspective? Do you have an idea, perspective, your point of view?
I do. I do. Matter of fact, I've done extensive research about it.
Okay.
And the first thing is,
Hmm.
and this is not a conspiracy theory, but
Hmm.
we didn't create the drugs.
Hmm.
We didn't bring the drugs over here in the inner city communities back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We
Mhm.
didn't do that.
Hmm.
But because we were so impoverished and felt hopeless and helpless, that's a way of escapism.
Hmm.
That's what that is. People down on their luck don't want to face reality. It's an alternative to their reality.
Hmm.
And then they get caught up into it, of course, and can't get out of it.
Yeah.
But we didn't, the research has shown they had planes coming over here with that cargo, man, to the
Hmm.
inner cities and dumped it in the inner cities.
That's a
So
fact.
we would kill each other off.
Hmm.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. That's what this pandemic is about.
Hmm.
Depopulation, be
Yeah.
perfectly honest with you.
Hmm.
Okay. And so, yeah, a lot of our athletes got caught up into it, not just boxing, but across the board in sports. An injury happens, they're feeling bad, or maybe it's a career ending injury,
Yeah.
and they turn to it. It's the easiest thing. If it's not drugs, alcohol is a drug too, right? We've
Yes.
had a lot of alcoholics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's and it's not just us,
Yeah.
it's the other populations too, because now the opiates are users are getting treatment. We were
Hmm.
getting incarcerated for the same drug.
Yeah.
How you like that? Huh?
Straight, straight up. So the legal
Facts.
system, the
Facts.
legal system, the legal system, and the judiciary. Yeah, they played a big part in this, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. So no, it's the stereotype is that we lazy, shiftless, drug addicts.
Mm.
That's not the truth at all, man. Of course, you have those characters in every demographic population, but we don't corner the market on that thing. If anything, we've risen above our adversities for the last 400 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to, definitely. Now, Henry, I need you to do me a favor, brother. All right, check
Listening.
your text real quick, and then just text me back. But and also, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a story about De La Hoya. Tell that story because I know you were saying that he never. I guess he promised to do something, but he never did it.
Well,
Go
I
ahead and
said
finish
that
that
earlier.
story.
I said that earlier.
Right.
When they came to
Mhm.
town with Amir Khan, fighting against our local guy, Lamont Peterson, I sold $33,000 worth of tickets myself. Thinking only at 15%. So I did pay myself, but I paid them the lion's share, thinking that was going to impress them enough to bring me on board. Never spoke to him again in life. But it's okay. It's okay because I know my worth. And I know what I'm worth to people. So,
Yes, sir.
fortunately, I have the right people behind me now, to go forward. So we're gonna all eat together, brothers. Trust me.
Yes, we.
100%. Carry on, Troy.
Yeah, and I could definitely say that Henry has the spirit of honesty and trust, man. Because everybody
Thank you.
that I say, brother, and as I told you, I'm not selling any wolf tickets when I say that. I mean that. Everybody that I've mentioned his name to is like a ray of sunshine come over their soul, and they like, I know this combobulating. I know this combobulating. Yeah, like
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's
Well,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
like
Because
I said, that
Marvin, Mhm.
Marv McDowell,
Yeah.
gym
We
owner in
had him on.
Baltimore. Yeah. Oh, he's been on the show.
He was on last week,
Yes, sir.
7 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sure
Good guy.
you check out his episode. It was good. At the end of it, he said he felt like he'd been in a therapy session.
Wow.
Serious,
That's
real talk.
strong.
Real talk. Real talk.
That is real talk.
Check him out.
I'll send you the show, Henry. All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll definitely
Appreciate
send
that,
it
man.
to your
Yeah.
phone so you can check him out. Because Marvin, he always just shoot. He shoot from the hip pretty much.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He does.
He
Mhm.
does.
Matter of fact, speaking of Baltimore, I gotta say this.
Yeah.
For years, DC had led the way with top-notch fighters. We had more world champions here in DC at one time than any city in the history of boxing. We had William Choppy, we had Keith Holmes, Sean Bay Mitchell, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, Andrew Maynard. We claimed Sugar Ray Leonard, Riddick Bowe, top-notch contenders, Daryl Coley, Daryl Tyson, Reggie Showtime Green. The list was endless, man. But now Baltimore is on the rise, and I got to give it to him. Only champion we have over this way right now is Gary Russell Jr. Say it again.
No, I didn't say anything.
Uh,
I was going to jump in after
Oh,
you're done, but go ahead.
oh yeah. So Baltimore is on the rise, and that's why Mayweather went over there and signed a bunch of those guys, starting with Gervonta Tank Davis, whose fights I was announcing when he was an amateur, teenager. I saw it then. I said, oh, this guy is special. You know, they got Malik Hawkins, undefeated welterweight. They got a young guy I'm really high on, a middleweight named Lorenzo Truck Simpson. You're going to hear about him real soon. He has probably, he's 8-0 as a pro, but he had like 20 something national titles. This
I know
guy,
who Truck is, brother. I
oh,
definitely know who Truck is.
he's
Yeah,
bad.
I know
He's
who he
bad.
is.
He was gonna
Yeah, he
represent
is.
the Olympics, but as it turned out, it was a good idea not to turn. Yeah, it was a good idea to turn pro, and not wait on the Olympics. So
Right,
yeah,
right. Because he fights out of Upton, right?
yeah, along
Upton
with
Gym. Yeah.
Tank and Malik Hawkins. Yeah, so
Right.
Baltimore's on the rise, and I got to give kudos, to Calvin Ford over there, training for
hmm
Devontae, and
And
also promoter Shabazz.
I was just
Shabazz.
about to drop that brother's name on you. Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's leading
Much
the way over
respected.
there,
Much
man.
respected.
And
Much
yeah, so
respected, brother,
yeah,
man.
so they're gonna challenge those fighters. I said all to say this: those fighters are gonna challenge the DC fighters, and basically that's what we need to bring boxing back, to the
hmm
prominence that it have. Local rivalries, so we looking at it maybe about 2 years. all things going according to plan, we looking at Gervonta Davis against Gary Russell.
I want to see that fight badly because you know Gary a pit bull, baby. Gary a pit bull. So yeah,
so is
Gary.
Gervonta. So is Gervonta.
yeah, both of them.
And they both left-handed, and they both fast. So that's what we need. This is what we need. It would pack the Verizon Center. Pack it.
I was going to ask you, where would that fight be held? Where would it be held? It would be held in DC or Baltimore, though.
Well, you're right. Well, they might go someplace neutral. They might go someplace neutral because neither one of them, want to fight in the other's backyard per se. So I don't know. They might have to go to Atlantic City or take it to Vegas. Probably Vegas. I
guess it would have to be someplace in the area that holds the most seats. Like, how much does the Harbor owe? Harbor hold down
in DC? Oh man, they didn't plan that right. That thing only hosts 3,000 people, man. They didn't plan that for boxing. No. They planned that for concerts.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. What? No what?
Yeah, they didn't plan that right.
Okay. So as we're coming up now to the close, Ebbs, African friend, Ebbs, African friend. I still want to know who Ebbs is. Has Henry, discombobulated Jones, had any talks with Matchroom USA?
Hearns would not return any of my correspondence, so I left it alone.
Oh, they got that. They got that long-haired guy, the guy with the guy with the white guy with the dreads.
No, that's not Matchroom. Eddie Hearns is the promoter, and that long guy, the guy with the long dread, is his ring announcer.
Okay.
But he gets my correspondence because I see that he's read it, but he won't respond. So I'm moving on, man. I'm moving on. I don't beg people for anything.
Yeah, exactly. But so what is the message? Is there anything else that you want to say that you haven't said?
Now, basically that we're more alike than we are different, and people need to realize that. We might have come over here on different boats, or different ships, but we all in the same boat right now together. So we need to show love, man. We need to encourage and support each other. Yeah, and a strong tide lifts all boats.
Strong tide lifts all boats. People, I want you to hear those words.
That's what I'm gonna use. That's where I'm gonna leave it.
That's exactly where we should leave it, because that is perfection. That is perfect. Perfect.
I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
We're gonna talk more because you've put me onto that guy, and that's in my email.
Yes.
I will be contacting you more, and for sure we're gonna follow. We're gonna watch this space. watch the developments.
That's right. That's right.
I don't want to overcook this thing. We've been on for 1 hour, 18 minutes. I like to keep things.
Wow.
Exactly. It's gone real fast. I like to keep
it has.
Nice, tight, and watchable. And I think 1 hour, 18 minutes. I think we've pretty much got there. Okay, so we'll have a little quick fire round then. I'm going to ask you a quick question, quick and easy, and you answer it quick and easy. Troy's going to ask you a quick and easy one, and then you answer it quick and easy. So it's just seconds. It's snap, 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 snap. Okay. So my quick fire round is which two fighters would you, past, present, or future, I don't know, which two fighters would you love to be in the ring announcing?
Bud Crawford, Errol Spence.
Bud Crawford, Errol Spence. Why?
Because they're the two best fighters in the world right now to me.
Damn. Troy, quick fire round. No messing around. Unmute yourself. Let's go.
Okay. You talked a lot of fights. What was the greatest female fight that you ever covered, Henry? You didn't mention anything.
That's right. Layla Ali against I can't remember her name now because she destroyed the girl. But it was in Maryland.
Okay.
Okay. So it's back to me. It's quick fire. No long talking. Okay. So Who's the best? What's your favorite weight division to watch? Where the hell's Henry gone? Henry disappeared. Henry, where'd you go? Where did Henry go?
Just got logged back in.
Where did Henry go?
There he is.
No, it isn't there. No, it isn't there. There he is.
Oh, that's cool.
That's notification. Henry. Let me drop the link in the chat in case he's lost the link. Boom, boom, boom. Just that chat. I've only just got that. Okay. So that was Henry Discombobulated Jones. You see him there. You see him there on the screen. It was a good one. We were supposed to get, what's his name, Troy?
We're supposed to get Henry, you know, a discombobulating Jones because he showed up.
We were supposed to get Junior Jones, but didn't show up.
Yeah.
Didn't show up. So we got Henry. Here we got Henry. We got Henry Discombobulated Jones in, and it's been a very good one. It's been a very good one. I'm glad. Great interview, Henry. I'm glad that we were able to somehow salvage the 2-time. I was glad that we were able to somehow salvage this thing from the jaws of defeat. And Henry Discombobulated Jones. What's the boxing MMA union contact information? Well, I'll send an email. I'll send a communique to Henry Discombobulating Jones and get the information. I'll put it in the description box. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Yeah. If Troy sends me, I mean, you probably sent me his details. You probably sent me his. What do I need? What do I need? I need his Facebook. You haven't sent me that. If he's on, I need his social media. So I need Discombobulated Jones. Discombobulated Jones's social media, and I'll put that when I get Discombobulated Jones's social media. I'll put that in the description box, and then from there you can you people in the chat who choose to follow him, you can follow him, and then you'll get the MMA union information that way. But I think I'll be doing like a little half an hour interview with the boxing MMA union contact guy from the UK. So either way you cut it, you're gonna get some. Either way you cut it, you're gonna get some more information about Discombobulated Jones. This cardmaster here is a bit of a cardmaster for Fury. This cardmaster guy is a bit of a cardmaster for Tyson Fury. He's been on here. We've been talking to Discombobulated Jones, and all this guy has been doing. He's been talking about Fury. Yo, just enjoy the world, my friend. Just enjoy the world. The world is bigger than just Fury alone. Cardmaster. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So that was Discombobulated Jones. Much appreciation goes out to him. Much appreciation goes out to him for getting on when Junior Jones didn't. So yeah, that was the show. Much appreciation goes out to Discombobulated Jones. So I'm gonna have to change all of the stuff. The title of this piece, probably put up a new thumbnail for Discombobulated Jones. Troy Graham, your final words. Please.
All right. Well, you know what you saw today for everybody who's listening and yourself there, Raphael, is that you saw basically how God just works, man. I mean, one gentleman had an issue, had a family issue, right? And another gentleman just based on the strength of me asking him, and we had a couple of conversations off air prior to me, asking him to come on here. It just so happens that he had the time to give today, and he came on and gave up his time, no problem, no fuss, no muss. That just tells you how God works. He don't let nothing stop you. You don't look at one thing. Okay, you might stumble, but it don't mean you have to fall and stay down there. You pick yourself up and you keep going. I stated I stated a while back when we did the whole thing with James Tony and that didn't fall through. That didn't bother me because you
Hey,
know
chill
what?
about it.
I
Chill
still
about it.
I still have respect for the brother. No, no, no. Let me
Mm.
finish. I still have respect for that brother, and everybody has a life, and everybody makes their own decisions. I take no time in the world to look at problems. I take time out and I say, well, how do I overcome and how do I move on? But I don't have any time to deal with doubt. I don't waste any time with doubt. I don't waste any time saying if or maybe or anything like that. I keep
Yeah, we
moving
should.
because I
Yeah,
know
you should take some time out to think about it,
because,
maybe.
because I know. Let me finish because I know this much. I was put here. I've been through my doubts. I've been through my falls. I've failed more than I've succeeded, and that has given me the strength to say I'm still here. I still have breath. I still have life, and there is nothing and no one that could stop me, whether it's one man or 10,000. They'll never stop me because I'm a
Well,
whole lot bigger than that.
we're talking
And my
about men
work.
stopping you. You're
Let me
trying to stop.
finish. Let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
on, go on, go
Let
on
me
then.
finish. Let
Go
me
on then.
let me finish.
Go on then.
Let me finish. You
Go
you
on then.
you. If you have a purpose, then you continue. You're gonna run. You're gonna run into roadblocks. Everything that you look at now that is great. Whether it be, let's take Nike. Nike started out as a $35 shoe symbol. It's a multi-billion-dollar shoe company and a whole bunch of other stuff right now. Everything started out as something small, you know, and there was always roadblocks and things to come, but they didn't
You're going
stop.
off
They
topic.
kept going.
You're going off topic.
No, no, no. I'm just simply saying you don't let anything stop you. I'm not going off topic. My whole point is Junior didn't show up, but Henry Jones showed up, and that's just the beauty of life and faith, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
all it
listen,
is.
listen to me, my friend. Listen to me, my friend. Right.
Go
So,
ahead, man.
to me, my friend. Right. So, anytime we get a guest on, yeah, that means I have to draw up a show for the guest. I have to spend time to do the artwork for the guest. I have to spend time to put all of that. I have to go to social media. I have to go to social media, multiple different platforms to put out the advertising that we have in this guest on. Therefore, it's important when we say we're going to get a guest. And I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's important when we say we're going to get a guest that we
Actually, the
get the
whole show
guest.
you said it was my fault, but go ahead.
Say that again. What do you say? Say that again.
I said the whole show you said it was my fault, but go ahead.
The whole show I've said it was your fault. How did I do that?
Junior Jones is not talking to Troy on the phone, and then nah, just go on
You
with your
told,
point. Go ahead.
you told me that. You told me that. So I'm not saying anything that you didn't tell me. You told me that he wouldn't answer the phone to you today. I called him 2 times and he answered 2 times for me. So he's not answering the phone for you. But anyway, so what I'm saying is back on point. When we say we're going to have a guest, it's important that we get that guest. It's really important because a lot of work goes in on my side. I know you on your side too, but on my side, I have to put a lot of work in every time we have a guest. It's not just writing down a person's name and going pressing a button and then boom, it's up. No, it's a lot of work on my end. So it's really important that when we say we're going to have a guest on, we get that guest. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Mm-mm.
that's just from my side. Just so there's an
Okay,
understanding.
okay.
It's a lot of work that
I
goes
got you
into
now. Let me
boom.
say this. Let me say this. I
Yeah.
I'm the one back off mute. I'm the one that's making initial contact and putting in the time to do that. I'm the one that has to find them. It's not always easy to find people, but I've been blessed somehow, and I find these folks. I get them to agree to come on and so forth. I have no control over their lives, none. Now I understand you put the artwork, the time in.
Who says you're
That's
supposed to have
wonderful
control
and
over their
great,
lives? Who says you're supposed
but
to
I
have
have no
control over
control
their
over
lives?
their life.
Who
If
says
they
you're
don't
supposed
show up, then
Who
okay.
says
If
you're
they
supposed
don't
to
show
have
up,
control over their lives?
that has nothing to do with anything that I've done. I've put my time in. I built a rapport with them and all that. If they don't show up for whatever reason, I simply pray
Yeah.
that all is well with them and I move on. See?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know about that. I mean, if you have an agreement with someone, then if I have an agreement with someone, then they have to live up to the agreement or tell me why they didn't.
But you can't stop if someone's in a car accident, if someone has a family issue. You can't control that. They're gonna go
But
take care of what's important.
no. But they can communicate that to me. Somebody's got a family
Maybe
issue.
they can. Maybe they can. Maybe they can't. I don't know. Everybody works and lives a little different life than everybody else, brother.
No. All telephones work the same way. All
No,
telephones work the same
telephones
way.
work the same way, but not
You put
people.
the person's
People
number in
don't
there and you
work the
call
same
me.
way.
If there's a problem, you put the number in there and you call me, or you text me and you tell me there is a problem, and you will not be able to honor the agreement.
That's how it should work in a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world.
Perfect
We
world.
live in no world. Yeah.
Perfect
We don't
world.
live in a
You need,
perfect world. We just live in no
you
world.
need to live in a perfect world to send a text. Really?
Well,
Oh,
sometimes you get tied up and you just don't do it, man. That's how I can't tell
no.
people what
You
to
have an
do.
appointment. When you have an appointment, somebody has an appointment, then, if you can't make the appointment, then you have the courtesy of saying, I can't make the appointment. You don't have to say why, but you have the courtesy of doing so. That's
And not,
just good, man.
and not everybody's courteous, so you can't do anything about that, man. We all
Not
cut from
everybody's
different
courteous.
cloths.
Not everybody's
Yeah.
courteous.
No,
Mm.
we all cut from different cloths.
We
I'm
definitely
cut
know
from a
that.
different cloth than you.
Everybody's courteous. We know that for sure. So I'll agree with you there. I will agree with you there. Not everyone is courteous. Straight. Damn straight. Okay. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And the guest was Henry Jones. So he got that, managed to get that, retrieve that somewhat. Sorry once again for the situation with Jones, with Junior Jones. But hey, such is life. Such is life. We give thanks for discombobulated Jones coming up. His picture is right there. And Troy Graham was joined us. And okay, what can I say? It's been a good one. We retrieved it. Troy Graham, your final words.
My final words are: I'm not sorry for a damn thing that happened today, and I wish everybody the best. I want you to share it. I want you to subscribe and hit the super chat. And I want you to understand something. Live life, man. And whatever comes, you find the strength to deal with it. That's it. You don't see that's it. I don't. Yeah.
So
I'm not giving. Look, if somebody pushes you off a damn mountain and you don't have a parachute, hey, then you gotta find a you gotta find a way. I mean, you either die or you find a way. Yes, it's just the way life is.
You die or you find a way. What's going on here? You die or you find a way. Yeah, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay, so that was Troy Graham. Thank you, Troy Graham. And yeah. So that's it. You heard it all. You know the lowdown. You know the scoop. Okay, so yeah, I think he's where is he? Let me have a look what's going on here. Okay, so no Junior Jones, second time. What the no Junior Jones, second time. And that is that. I don't know what's next. I don't know if I'm going to do another one later. Well done, it's late enough, mate. I should put my feet up, shouldn't I? I should put my feet up. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, probably with the daytime thing. Probably with the daytime thing. And oh yeah, certainly we gotta go. What we doing again tomorrow? Or is it boxing talk and classic fight review? Might try to do another fight review, classic fight review tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And the final words from me is blessed.